Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's makeup tutorial is on the look that I'm wearing right now, and it is inspired by a night on the town. If you're going out, it's very bold, it's very dramatic. I was sitting on the couch watching Bravo. I just got inspired to do a look that is good for going out. If you're going out in the town, if you have a date, if you're going clubbing, going to the bars, this is a look you can use. I used two of my favorite palettes. One is the original Naked palette by Urban Decay, and I also used the Mannymua and Makeup Geek palette, another one of my favorites. I used some transition shades, and then I also used this hot pink for my crease just to add a little bit more color, a little more pop. For my lips, I used the ColourPop Lippy Stick in the shade Aquarius, which was made by Kathleen Lights. And this is my go-to lip color. I wasn't sure, I tried on a few different lip colors before I picked up this one because just nothing really looked right, especially because I have hot pink in my crease. So I decided just to go with a light brown, it's kind of neutral. So if you want to see how I got this look, then just keep watching. For this look, I am using tape going from the outer corner of my eye to around the bottom of my eyebrow, and I'm just taking my Photo Focus eyeshadow primer from Wet n Wild and priming my lids as well as my lower lash line. And then we are going to be jumping into the Mannymua and Makeup Geek palette, taking the shade Beaches and Cream on my Wet n Wild crease brush, and I'm just setting down that eyeshadow primer. Switching over to my Naked palette, I'm taking the shade Naked, and with that same crease brush, just running that in my crease. Next, in my Urban Decay Naked palette, I'm taking the shade Buck, and with also that same crease brush from Wet n Wild, and just building that on top of Naked. Going back to Manny's palette, I'm taking the shade Mars on my Morphe E27 brush, and I'm just starting to buff this right on the outermost part of my crease, really towards my brow bone. And don't worry if you get too close to your brow, you can always clean it up later, which I will show you. But this takes a lot of buffing and making sure it's really smoked out and really pretty. You don't want any harsh lines between the colors from the Naked palette and this gorgeous pink shade from Manny's palette. So just go back and forth, buffing it out. Back into the Naked palette, I'm taking the shade Creep, which is this black shade with some silver sparkles running through it. Just on a flat shader brush, I'm just taking that on the very outer corner and just lightly dragging it through the crease, but not going all the way through. I'm just stopping it at like 2/3 of my eye. I'm going to be coating with this black shade, and this is just going to give it a lot of drama. And notice how I'm just packing on it on the black, and then I'm going back in with my Morphe brush and that pink shade from Manny's called Mars, and just making sure again there are no harsh lines, everything is really smooth. And then I'm just going back in with Creep just to intensify that black. Now we're taking my all-time favorite eyeshadow from the Naked palette. It's called Half Baked, and this is also just on a flat shader brush, and I'm just putting this on the innermost half of my lid, and then I'm just going to be going back and forth with Creep and making sure that that line isn't too harsh. And to intensify Half Baked, I'm just spraying some NYX setting spray on my brush and going back in to really intensify that gold. I think it's such a beautiful gold. I love this color. Back into the shade Naked, I'm just taking it on my Wet n Wild crease brush and just making sure again there are no harsh lines and that everything is blended out. Now I'm taking the shade Virgin, and this is when you can go and clean up your brow bone in case you got any of Mars too high up on your brow bone. You can just go right over it and clean it up with Virgin. For eyeliner, I'm using my Tarteist Day Paint Liner, in black, and I'm using the angled brush that came with this, also from Tart, and I'm just doing my top liner and doing a wing. I really like using tape when doing these dramatic looks because it really cleans up that edge, and it also helps you have a really clean, precise eyeliner line. So if you're not that great at eyeliner, I would suggest trying to use tape, because right when you pull that tape off, you'll see just a really beautiful, crisp line on the end, and you don't have to worry about going in and cleaning it up, and you can make it as bold and dramatic as you want. Now I'm taking my Photo Focus Lash Primer from Wet n Wild and just priming my lashes. And then for mascara, I'm going to be using my Lights Camera Lashes mascara from Tart. Now I'm just removing the tape, and you can see that crisp line. I love it. And then I'm going to be going into Creep again on my Morphe M432 brush. I'm putting Creep just on the outer half of my lower lash line, and I'm using this precise brush so you can really go in and smoke it out with a different brush, but this just gets it really precise and on your lower lash line, on your waterline, and it just looks awesome with the clear cut with the tape. And then I'm going in with my Morphe E36 brush, just with a little bit of creep on it, and then you see as I tapped out the excess, and I'm going back in and just smoking it all out. Going back to Half Baked, I'm using my Morphe E36 brush again, and I'm just putting Half Baked on the inner corners of my lower lash line and on the inner corner of my eye. Last but not least, I'm going in with the ColourPop Lippy Stick in the shade Aquarius, made by Kathleen Lights in ColourPop. So this is the final look. I hope you guys like it. Please subscribe to my channel. It would mean so much. I love makeup. I love doing these tutorials just to put myself out on YouTube. I love makeup. I love this industry. I just love it so much. And that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in my next video.